Hello everyone. So this is actually lecture 6, so I don't have a title slide on here. We're going to start talking about Galileo. So Galileo was born in 1564 in Pisa. And it's interesting to note that Kepler and Galileo were alive at the same time and aware of each other's work. So it's very interesting, their relationship. Although they didn't ever get together, they did write letters to each other and were aware of each other's work. So anyway, that's just an aside. So Galileo's father was very well known. He was a musician, music theorist, and Galileo studied mathematics and science and became a professor at the University of Pisa. Now, we really think of him as solidifying the whole Copernican revolution, right? So Copernicus had published his revolutions, and of course Kepler accepted this and made some great strides, but there was still a lot of skepticism about the Copernican view, and there were really three key objections that were rooted in this Aristotelian view. And one was Earth could not be moving because objects in air would be left behind. You can imagine why people might have thought that. And non-circular orbits were not perfect, and the heavens should be perfect. So that was part of this too, was the Kepler's idea of non-circular orbits, which what worked in the heliocentric world. And that was really thought of as just couldn't work because of the heavens needed to be perfect. And then if Earth were really orbiting the sun, we should detect stellar parallax. And we talked about that very briefly, but again, it's this, the fact that if you change your viewpoint, and again, you could do that just by covering one eye and the other and looking at something, across the room, that the apparent position of the object will seem to change. So if we look at some stars from one side of our orbit, the winter solstice, and then again from the other side of our orbit at the summer solstice, we should see a change in their apparent positions. And no one could see that. Well, it really turns out, as you'll see, that the parallax change was just so small they couldn't observe it. But anyway, let's take a look at a video real quick, just to give a background view of all this.